Hello, my darling. Welcome back to Shamanic Heart Space. And if you're new here, very warm welcome to you as well. My name's Nancy, and I'm going to be talking to you about the full moon in Capricorn, one of two full moons in Capricorn. The first one that's coming up the 20th, 21st of June, 2024. So please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. I'm not an astrologer. I tend to work with plant medicines and energy, things like this. I have a Patreon if you want to know more about that. All right, so for now, let's jump in, shall we? Get yourself nice and comfortable. Maybe you'd like to get something to write with. And you can always come back and re-listen, because not everything is going to resonate with everybody the whole time, but sometimes when we go back and re-listen, we notice that new things have dropped into place. I'm starting to feel the yawning coming over me, which means I'm tuned in. Yeah, feel free to yawn along with me and see what messages come through for you, because a lot of people are finding their abilities are kind of coming online at the moment. No surprise, really, with all the things that are going on, evolutionary speaking. All right, so this feels like there's some opposing stuff going on here. We've got the energy in the background of the new moon in Cancer that will be coming in, as well as the full moon in Capricorn. And there's also the solstice energy of realignment and reconnection looming in the background. So you might be feeling that a bit pulled in different directions, perhaps. Or for some other people, absolutely in the center of the realignment, as the planet comes into alignment with the solstice on the 21st. But yeah, this kind of head, heart energy, emotions versus practicality. Not that there needs to be any binaries, but it can feel like that sometimes. Right, so let me just tune more into this Capricorn energy. So this is bringing attention to something important in your life, something big in your life, as well as a faster pace of change in the external world, in the outer world. So there may be something that you've not wanted to look at, and now's the time. This full moon is going to shine a light onto that. Okay, so as I mentioned, there's going to be two full moons in Capricorn this year. So this is going to be about cycles and beginnings and endings. It's a good idea to see where Capricorn is on your chart. As I said, I'm not an astrologer, but if you get your birth chart read, you can find free ones online and see which house it falls in, because that could give you an indication of where some things may come up for you that need addressing. So they'll come to the surface for this first full moon in June, alongside the solstice. And then there'll be a new moon in Cancer, and then another full moon in Capricorn, where you're likely to see the culmination of whatever the cycle is showing you or trying to show you. All right, so we can really expect some revelations for this full moon. Things are changing very quickly in our internal landscapes as well as the external world. So the important thing is to keep focused and aligned with what matters to you, because there's a lot of distractions and it's going to get kind of louder and more confusing, more chaotic in the external. So really leaning into what actually matters to you and staying focused on that. You know, one way of looking at this could be what's working and what's not working. Also revisiting your goals, your driving forces, what's part of your bigger picture. Maybe even looking at where everything I'm sitting on and touching today just is creaking wood, so I hope that's not annoying in the background. I'll try and sit still. So yeah, looking back perhaps even to resolutions and goals that you set at the start of 2023 according to the Gregorian calendar. So January the 1st, people make resolutions or whatever. I don't tend to follow that calendar, but most people in the Western world do. So yeah, according to that, we're halfway through the year. But for some ancient traditions, this was the new year. We're coming into the new year. Others, no. But you get to tune into yourself and see how you feel. Are you halfway through the year? Are you completed with something? Are you beginning something? Where are you? So it's a really good point for reflection, for being pragmatic, for setting out a path that you're going to take. Okay, so again, there's a lot unfolding globally and internally. You may feel more desire or even desperation to feel secure now on all levels, physical, emotional, spiritual. And so this may cause you to want to be quiet rather than throw your net out to loads of people and say, I'm feeling like this, or I need help with this. Maybe going really inward and being quiet over this for a minute. Evaluating the relationships in your life. Alright, so this message is coming through loud and clear. The most important relationship is the one that you have with yourself. And at this time and moving forward, personal sovereignty is going to be really important. The mantra for Capricorn is I use, and so there's no coincidences in the sacred geometry of life. This is signaling that you have the tools, so use them. With that Capricorn energy, you have the tools that you need to clean up your life or move into a new area in your life, so use those tools. This is a great time to have a look at what you've achieved and where your energy has gone, especially since last solstice or even New Year. But is there anywhere, if you look back over the last 6 months or 12 months, however long you want to look back, and is there anywhere you think I wasted a lot of energy on that, and the rewards or the outcomes were not worth spending that much energy on that? This could be a really good, helpful path for you to look at. And yes, your achievements. And what do you define as achievement? Maybe it could be worth looking at expanding your own definition of achievement. So you have what it takes now: wisdom, self-love, experience. You have everything you need to make any necessary adjustments. There's a lot that we can't control. Really, we can only control our reactions. And even then, sometimes we can't, no? But there's a message here for like keeping things simple. So trying to control things that are out of your hands just lead to a headache. So experiencing joy on your own terms, and maybe even walking away from people, places, situations that are no good for you, that dampen your frequency, and you spend a lot of mental energy, even physical energy, on those things. I mean, of course, in some cases this is easier said than done. We don't just exist in isolation. But what you're experiencing is an opportunity to reflect. If there are things that you need to let go of so that you can grow, this is a beautiful thing. And it's all coming from you as well. It's coming through your structure, your vision of the universe, your worldview. Even if it seems to be coming from someone else, through their behavior, through their actions, through their words, it's still coming from you. It's your projection of the matrix reality. So there's always something to learn from it. And the more that we can see through these illusions about separateness, about otherness, the more that you can live from your inner axis. And the inner axis, it runs vertical and horizontal through the body. So we start with I think, I feel, I do, running down the center of the body, and then across from left to right, I receive, on the left, on the right, I give, and then at the heart space, I intend. And so I think, I feel, I do, I receive, I give, I intend. They cross over in the middle, in the heart space. And this is where you want to live from. This is where all the parts of yourself meet. And all the work I do is to help with that awakening, that self-realization. So this is a optimal time for this full moon to really get into alignment in those areas. Every new and full moon I do realignment ceremony online on Patreon. You can try it for free if you want to come over there, patreon.com shamanic heart space. It'd be lovely to have you over there. Also have extra podcast episodes on all kinds of things. It could be helpful to you if you're experiencing a new reality emerging. It's not always easy, yeah? All right, so you may be perceiving Cancerian undercurrents with that new moon also in the background. So emotions. Yeah, it's going to be ongoing for a little while. There's a lot going on really here. Essentially what I do when I'm doing these podcasts is going into the future. It's a different time space, and yeah, it feels like a bit isolated but out of choice, but with a lot of stuff going on the outside. So that Cancerian energy of old emotions coming to the surface, coming back round so that you can see your patterns, perhaps like where you overgive, so on and so forth. But you know what? I'm going to pull back on that because I'll talk about all of that for the new moon in July. Let's just come back to the full moon energy. It's kind of feeling a little bit stern. I feel avoidant towards it, which is interesting because I like Capricorn in general. I like Capricorn people. But yeah, there's part of me it's like, no, let's move over to this watery Cancerian energy that's going to be available at the same time. But no, there's a sternness, maybe feeling a little bit like you want to stick in your ways, not wanting to change, a stubbornness for sure, maybe even cutting off your nose to spite your face. Very typical of Capricorn in some instances. So just remembering to be gentle with yourself and with other people if those emotions are coming up for you. You might be at odds essentially with wanting to kind of play and have fun, but getting stuck into your head and old thought patterns. They're just coming up so you can really be sure that you clean them away. I prefer the words clean or purify to healing personally, but that's, I'm essentially referring to the same thing. Just in case you're new here and you didn't know, that's my terminology. I really recommend journaling always and moving your body. If emotions are coming up, please let them flow. On Patreon, I've been talking a lot about the changes happening to us as a species, as a human race. And this most certainly means the need to recalibrate. So through tears, through highs, through lows, etc., we've got to kind of go with the flow of what is happening to us on spiritual, emotional, physical, energetic levels. So if you're feeling a little bit like there's too much going on, overwhelmed, if the tears come, remember that they help you to recalibrate and rebalance. So don't wipe them away. Your face is designed for them to fall into your mouth. They help you. They help you with what your body needs. Like as a direct result of whatever it was that made you cry. Your hormones and whatever's needed to help rebalance you and calm down is in those tears. So, drink them. Don't just throw them away. So yeah, for some people this is going to feel a bit like the floodgates are opening perhaps. So allow yourself to have a bit of time off from your schedule, from your social life if you need to, just to, release the pressure. You're likely to feel a bit of a pinch around obligations, feeling like you have to get some stuff done. So, just stay grounded. Cut out the stuff that doesn't serve you, that you don't really have time for, so that you have time and energy for what matters. And you can stay focused, you can be driven, you can be direct in heading for whatever your desired outcome is. Okay, so deceptions, illusions, these things falling away. Still more toxicity coming up to be cleaned. And this is in the external as well as the internal. You can't have one without the other. So we can really expect the emergence of truth, more truth coming to the surface in your personal life and in the wider world as well. It's a very important time for taking responsibility for everything in your life, for how you feel, for your happiness, for your comfort, for your relationships. Really dropping any victimhood stories. I see you seeing through the manipulative behavior because you change and you say enough is enough. So this is about like releasing old patterns and finding a new state of being for moving forward that serves you much better, that's not coming from a place of patterns and conditions and what you grew up on or what you heard in your culture, in your environment, in your family, or whatever came through in your DNA, which is really good news. Well done, congratulations. I'm gonna leave this episode here. If you want to hear more, there's the extra bonus episode on Spotify subscribers and on Patreon. It'd be lovely to have you over there. I'm in London for a while. I'm usually living out in Peru, but I'm in London. So if you want to work with me with Kambo or shamanic healing, cacao ceremonies, I have one for solstice actually. But all of the stuff I'm doing, you'll find it in the description box. It'd be lovely to connect with you while I'm here. And also I have my next dieta to work with ayahuasca and plant medicines in Peru in October 2024. So it really would be amazing if you'd like to find out more about it. We've been doing these dietas for years. I've worked with plant medicines for nearly 25 years. yeah, it'd be beautiful to have you as part of that with us. So you can book a free call with me where we can discuss it all. And I think all that remains to be said is thank you so much for being here. Thank you to my wonderful Patreons who make it possible for me to deliver a free podcast, making it accessible for everybody. And yeah, if you'd like any of that bonus content, it'd be lovely to have you. I hope you have a wonderful full moon, the first of 2 full moons in Capricorn. I send you lots of love from my heart to yours. And my name is Nancy, and you have been listening to Shamanic Heart Space. I will see you soon.